Hey guys, welcome to the video. It's 1442 Stuart, and today we're going to be doing the continuation to my series where we go over and discuss what I've been doing and how I've been experiencing it on my journeys through Azeroth. As I've been playing more of World of Warcraft, I've been enjoying more and more of the world, travelling to new zones, starting new storylines. In the next 20 hours, or maybe just a little over that, we actually ended up chasing the main story quest of Dragonflight and getting that completed, although that was probably past the 40-hour period. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for my renown with the Centaurs or any of the other races, but by making it so far into Dragonflight has certainly given me more than enough to talk about. So, let's get to it. When we left off last time, I was just making my way through Zuldazar, experiencing dungeons in World of Warcraft for the first time, just generally running around a bit confused. Well, to be honest, that continued all the way, I think, to level 58. I just ran around the same zone, eventually found myself in the zone to the north of Zuldazar, quested there for a while until Dalton, the guy I'm leveling with, went back to Wargrimmar, and because he's a quest addict, somehow found himself in the new expansion Dragonflight. So I immediately followed as I saw his XP gain was way more than mine. I followed suit, got to Dragonflight, and one thing I noticed immediately is that there was a massive spike in difficulty compared to the older zones. I was leveling in, which definitely seemed tailored for the solo leveling experience. Seems Dragonflight has the solo leveling experience also interweaved with a bunch of available group content, events and other group orientated things happening in the Outer Worlds. Which means if you run into the wrong area when you're not fully geared or fully leveled or you're not being careful, you will get killed. I don't really dislike this type of leveling or area experience in MMOs. I do prefer when games decide that if a player is able to pull 9 things at once and mitigate their damage, also be able to pump out enough AoE damage to farm a bunch of mobs all at the same time, then you're more than welcome to do so. But that being said, there are roaming mobs also in a lot of these zones. These can sometimes shift the favour of a battle for the worst. But like I said, I prefer when there is actually something to consider in combat. Whereas in Zuldazar, I felt that I could just face roll all the content because I had so much available healing and damage at my disposal, and all the utility with the roots and the charms and the hexes. I just generally thought it was way easier in Zuldazar. But if anything, I felt like it was overtuned for the. I was overtuned for the older areas. Where in Dragonflight, the average group size of enemies seems generally larger. They also seem to have a much higher amount of saturation of enemies in the zones generally. All this being said means it's much harder to just run around on the floor and navigate Dragonflight, bringing up by far one of the coolest features of Dragonflight, the new dragon riding system. It's basically flying mounts but with actual physics. I'm a huge fan of this way of flight. I farmed out the Griffin on Guild Wars 2 the second I saw how it flew, and this is extremely similar. But they stole a good idea, and I'm a fan of this. If every MMO took the best features of every other MMO, and they all combined their best efforts, this in effect would be the best MMO possible right now. So I don't consider it stealing. I see it more as, if you don't replicate or innovate this type of gameplay, be it raids, dungeons, world maps, PvP, it doesn't matter. You need to be able to match your current competition, and WoW innovated with making mounts and making them cool in the first place. Then they didn't touch them for like 15 years. But they are actually doing the right thing and adjusting to actual community feedback. I know I'm new to this game and this hasn't been the norm, but I really hope it remains to be the norm, and hope they continue to listen to player feedback, add new things, appreciate like the dragon riding system, or the trading post, which is a whole different system, kind of akin to a monthly battle pass where you earn this currency, which allows you to buy skins, mounts, little benefits that can normally be attained from the real money shop. Anyway, back to my experience with Dragonflight. The dragon riding is fun, engaging, and actually takes a level of skill to travel efficiently, especially in the beginning because of the renown system, which is a system which allows you to directly increase directly increase your personal dragon's abilities to regain stamina, even do a bit of damage, or to give you a % life shield when you dismount. You can tell they've actually put a level of detail into this new feature, rather than pushing it out whilst it's still in beta. The amount of customization they allow you to have with the new dragon riding feature is absolutely crazy. You can adjust how your dragon's horns are placed, what horns they are, whether they're even horns in the first place, the plates on his head, on his tail. You can basically adjust all the little details of the dragon that you choose without actually affecting the main of the model. And by completing renown quests and by completing the story quests, it constantly drip feeds you new customization for you to check out. New colour of skin or horn patterns or eye glows, so that you never seem to stale or done with your dragon. If you do feel the need to constantly shift things up, the ability to do so is more than there. There are 4 dragons to pick from in the dragon riding system: the renowned Proto Drake, the Windborn Velocidrake, the Highland Drake, and the Cliffside Wilderdrake. I'm torn between the Highland Drake and the renowned Proto Drake personally, although I haven't spent much time customizing my dragon or seeing even what new things I have unlocked for what dragon. Then there's the storyline for Dragonflight. Spoiler warning here: if you haven't played at all and you care about the general idea of the story and the plot, please don't say I didn't warn you. Basically, there's a big bad dragon. We need to restore the Oath Stones. For each aspect, so they can unite and fight the big bad dragon. I found this storyline simple, enjoyable. I didn't find myself getting confused or disconnected because there was too much minutiae of they were trying to be M. Night Shyamalan, basically. They weren't trying to do that. It's just a solid, dragons are cool, help the dragons, beat a bad dragon, and save the world and the universe. Haven't got into Shadowlands or any of the other campaigns yet, but I've heard they're a bit harder to follow and don't seem to have as much continuity when they're all put together. But we'll judge that when we get there. I'm still looking forward to playing all the different parts of this game, and I've only done the main campaign for Dragonflight. Haven't done all the dungeons, just a few. Have finally reached max level, so I can start raiding in Mythic soon, get myself some better gear, which will speed up the whole process of being able to play and experience this game to the fullest of its capabilities. Like I said in the last video, guys, the continued support and added views and subscribers is absolutely awesome. Please keep it up. It really helps the channel and makes it so I'll be pushing more and more content like this and others in the future. As I've only just completed the campaign, it's just opened up a new feature, which is World Quests, which as far as I know are a weekly reset, where you're required to kill a bunch of things. In this example, it's a bunch of enemies just near Rathian, where you have to gather X amount of this and X amount of that. Then when you've completed this, you will go back to Rathian and get to trade these regents for an epic quality reward, which includes Dragonflight totems, regents, a chance to unlock a rare transmog for a weapon or armor, and other things. With these world quests, there are also, from what I can see, world bosses, which seem to function on the same kind of timer as these weekly quests. These world bosses, as far as I'm aware, have a whole different roll table when it comes to loot. I don't know if the Dragonflight world bosses have mount drops, but I assume they do. If not, I'm looking forward to when they add them so I can start farming some low drop rate mounts and try my luck. All in all, the next 20 hours of World of Warcraft has been full of different adventures, although I kept to the leveling via the quests instead of just spamming the dungeons like I could have. I still found leveling to max quite manageable. I definitely could have done it quicker, and I plan to for when I roll a DPS after I get my healer decently geared. I'll continue to play World of Warcraft for the foreseeable future. I'm still really enjoying it. I'm actually way ahead of where I should be in regards to this series. I'm still 15 to 20 gameplay hours ahead of the series, so I could play 5 hours next week and have enough time for a video, but I'm definitely going to be doing more than that. So same again as last time, all I can do from here is give my honest opinion. In my honest opinion, as this game is opening up in complexity, showing me the level of effort and grind needed for renown and trading, it's given me a whole new respect for the game. Instead of just aimlessly questing, you better have a goal in mind after max level. Well, I need one, because otherwise I'd get lost in so many side quests I'd lose interest in the game in one day. But I have a goal, thanks to the in-game's gear measuring mechanic, known as item level. I plan to get my item level in the 420s, 430s, maybe by next video. Hopefully by the 4th video I'll be able to start delving into the more endgame content and see how it stacks up against other MMOs. Also to see if I'll even be able to do it. Like I said, I've never raided in any MMO. The largest groups I've ever been in MMOs was 8-man groups. I guess 12 in some Guild Wars missions, but even then you're only designated to heal 4. But anyway, I'm still looking forward to being able to do that with an actual organised raid group. That will be good. So guys, that's all there is for this video. If you want to see more videos like this, check out the channel. There's stream VODs of WoW, build guides for Wolcen, or more videos just like this one. Twitch, Discord and Twitter in the description. But be sure to subscribe, and it really helps the videos get pushed out. Comment too if you've got the time. That's all for now. Have a nice day. Peace.